Most discussions about the wealthiest families on Earth revolve around the Kardashians and the Gates of the world. Yet these conversations ignore the wealth passed down through generations by large business dynasties. In other words, old money. Half of the world's wealth is owned by the mega rich. This ranges from snack food tycoons to fashion queens and even retail moguls. Today on Captain Trend, we'll be looking at the top 10 richest families on Earth. All of the families combined have a massive net worth of about $659 billion. Starting at number 10, we have the Boehringer von Bambach. The families behind Boehringer Ingelheim, the German pharmaceutical firm, is currently one of the 20 largest pharmaceutical companies in the world. It currently operates around the globe with 145 affiliated companies and more than 50,000 employees on every continent. The von Bambachs have operated the business, accumulating a staggering net worth of about $42.2 billion. This also makes them one of the most notable families in all of Europe. At number 9, we meet the Cargill Macmillans. This family is not comprised of one or two, but of 14 billionaire family members that make up the Macmillan Empire. This sum alone is more significant than any other wealthy family in the world today. Along with several of their cousins, they hold 88% of Cargill Incorporated, one of America's largest private companies. In revenue alone, the family brings in about $108 billion worth of deals stemming from their packaged foods, processes crops, trades, commodities, and ingredients. Thanks to food and agriculture, the fortune of the Cargill Macmillan dynasty is valued at about $42.3 billion. Moving on to number 8, let's dive into the lavish lives of the Quants. The Quants family fortune was born when Herbert Quants turned BMW from a small automotive manufacturer into one of the biggest luxury automobile companies in the world. Herbert left his entire fortune to his daughter Suzanne, his son Stefan, and to their mom Joanna, which included the majority stake in BMW. When Harold died in 1982, the family behind one of the world's favorite luxury vehicles have accumulated a net worth of $42.7 billion. On to number 7. We have the Ambanis. The Ambanis family is the richest in all of Asia, and they never hesitate to flaunt their wealth. From gorgeous homes to impressive charitable contributions, the Ambanis make the most of their fortune. In addition to owning multiple homes, the crown jewel of their real estate is none other than Antilia, the 27-story skyscraper in Mumbai that allegedly cost $1 billion to build. The skyscraper features 600 full-time staff, 3 helipads, a garden that spans 3 floors, swimming pools, and gorgeous ballrooms. It's said to be the most expensive property in the world, second only to Buckingham Palace. Owning Reliance Industries as well as the world's largest oil refining complex, it shouldn't be a surprise that the family's net worth comes in at about $43.4 billion. The name Chanel is well known all over the world, but have you ever heard of the name Wertheimer? You know, the family who owns Chanel and who's had the majority stake in Le Parfum Chanel since its beginning in 1924? Well, let's look at how the Wertheimers made it to number 6. Elaine and Gerard Wertheimer are the third generation of Wertheimers to run the nearly 110-year-old luxury brand, Coco Chanel. They're said to be amongst the 10 richest people living in France, though their main wealth was largely inherited. It's grown through business deals and acquisitions spanning retail, wine companies, and even horse racing. They generally live their lavish lifestyles in private, surrounding themselves with similarly closed-mouthed individuals. They're also known as fashion's quietest billionaires. It's no surprise that the family fortune is worth an incredible $45.6 billion. Moving into the top 5, starting off we have the Dumases. Thierry Hermes, an orphan, was skilled with leather, so skilled that his main clients in the 19th century were royal families. 6 generations later, the Hermes family and their brand are known for their famous Parisian fashion house and vast riches. There are currently 16 heirs to the Hermes fortune, but 2 cousins, Pierre Alexis and Axel Dumas, are at the head of the ultra-luxurious Parisian fashion house that rakes in billions of dollars in profit each year. Hermes, like Chanel, is just one of a handful of renowned retail businesses where a single family owns the controlling shares. As the owners of the Paris-based company Hermes, it should be expected that the Dumas' fortune is valued at $49.2 billion. At number 4, we have the 3 Belgium families behind some famous beer dynasties. In 1987, the Belgian families Van Dam, De Spolberg, and de Mevius agreed to combine their family-owned breweries. This acquisition led to the formation of Interbrew, with popular brands such as Leffe or Stella Artois. Interbrew is the predecessor of today's largest brewery, InBev. These three Belgian families know beer. With brands like Anheuser-Busch in their repertoire of beverage companies, the family's distinctive brews have catapulted their net worth to about $54.1 billion. Winding down to number 3, we have the Mars family. This family sits on top of a delicious empire. They are the heirs to the candy throne that is Mars Incorporated, the makers of Snickers, Mars bars, Milky Way bars, Twix, M&Ms, and more, not to mention a portfolio of pet care products, drinks, and gum, among others. The Mars family, however, remains a bit of a mystery. They've been known to keep the company notoriously private. The headquarters have even been called anonymous by several insider reporters for Forbes and Business Insider. The century-old company has helped the Mars family build up a reported fortune of $89.7 billion. Coming in at number 2, the Koch Brothers from the United States. At age 27, a chemical engineer by the name of Fred Koch developed a new and more efficient process for turning crude oil into gasoline. Fast forwarding to today, the Koch Industries is the second largest privately held company in the United States, generating $110 billion in annual revenues. All of Fred Koch's sons have become billionaires as a result of the unprecedented growth of the family business. The two brothers, being Charles and David, are the only members of the family's second generation who still play an active role in the management of the company. The two other brothers, Frederick and William, both sold their stakes in 1983. Following the death of their father, Fred Koch, Charles Koch assumed the role of chairman and CEO of Rock Island Oil. He was 32 years old at the time and had been working in the company for a little more than 5 years. Before his death, Fred Koch had been preparing his son Charles for the leading position in case anything happened to him. Despite having wealthy parents, the Koch brothers were raised in an environment that taught them the importance of hard work. Charles is famous for saying that his father never wanted his boys to turn into country club bums. As a result, they were required to spend their spare time working while attending school. In the book Sons of Wichita, Daniel Schulman wrote, Fred put his sons to work milking cows, baling hay, digging ditches, mowing lawns, and whatever else he could think of. The Koch brothers now have possession of the massive industrial giant, which is reflected in their sizable net worth, bringing about $99 billion. Finally, at number 1, we have the Waltons. Sam Walton, the original man behind the company that now encompasses both Walmart and Sam's Club, set his family up for financial success when he divided the ownership before he died. You could not believe the success the family has experienced. Every hour that a new Walmart employee is hired, the family generates $4 million. Every minute that passes, the family generates $70,000. At the end of each day, the family brings in a whopping $100 million. Though Sam wasn't a lavish man of luxury, you can see that his children are enjoying life slightly more extravagant than their father. Despite the Waltons' high status, their personal lives remain private. The owners of everyone's favorite go-to superstore have a fortune valued at a jaw-dropping $151.5 billion, making the Waltons the richest family on Earth. I know some of you may be surprised that the famous Rothschilds did not make our list, but there are too many uncertainties to determine an exact dollar amount. However, drop down to the comments below if you'd like to see us make that video, breaking down all their assets and wealth down below. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.